there, Southern Maryland divers. I am super excited to show you guys today the Divesoft Echo analyzer. This is pretty new. It just came out. I am pretty lucky to have gotten a hold of it, and I'm just really excited to show you guys this technology. Mostly because I'm a nerd, but also because it has a really cool safety feature that is just going to be great for saving lives, I think, in the future. So this is the Divesoft Echo analyzer. Pretty new, just came out. We managed to get a hold of a couple of them, so we're going to do a review, just like we kind of always do. So as you can see, it comes in a nice little case, which is cool. There's some documentation there, and this is the analyzer itself. First thing I noticed when I grab a hold of it is that it's really solid. I mean, it's a solid piece of kit here. It's got a USB-C port here for charging. There is a USB-C charging cable, nice braided cable. And then it appears that there's a spot here reserved for a flow limiter, which I have, and I'll show you guys what that is here in just a second. But the main purpose of this is to go over this analyzer, which is really cool. So what makes this unique? Well, there's a couple things. One is the size. It's pretty small and easy to travel with. And turn it on here. So I don't know if you can hear it. Let me see if I can get you to hear it. Maybe you can hear it. There's a clicking noise. What that is, Divesoft is very unique in how they do their helium analyzing. And the way that works is it's acoustic. And so it sends an acoustic signal through the gas. And then based on the speed that it's responding, the wavelength coming back, it's able to tell what the helium is. So with that being said, the helium sensor in here is more or less lifeless. When I say lifeless, I mean it is good forever. So they've been doing this type of sensor with the helium for a long time now. And I've got one of their other sensors, one of their other analyzers for helium, and I've had no problem whatsoever. Now, another unique thing about the Echo is the oxygen sensor. So there's two options with that. This one has a standard oxygen sensor in it that would need to be replaced when the lifespan is up. So it's a galvanic sensor, and it has a lifespan on it, roughly 2 years most of the time, depending on use. But they also have a solid state sensor option. It's considerably more expensive. However, the solid state technology in theory has no expiration on the sensor. So you would be just like the helium, you would not have an expiration on your oxygen sensor either. So this can be used for nitrox, it can be used for trimix, and then the other really cool feature, the one that I'm super excited about, the one that I think will save lives, is the carbon monoxide sensor in here. So carbon monoxide, just like all other gases, gas pressure theory applies to carbon monoxide as well. So when we start talking about density and partial pressures of gases under pressure, carbon monoxide is not immune to that. And so when you have carbon monoxide in a gas that you're breathing, it's not good. So it's just like if you were to run a car in a garage or a generator in a garage, basically it's odorless, tasteless, and it basically makes you go to sleep and you won't even know it's happening. What's kind of unique, well not unique, but what's really dangerous about it with diving is the partial pressure part of that. So you might have a very small parts per million of carbon monoxide on the surface that would not affect you. You would not feel it if you were breathing the gas on the surface. But then you start to go under depth and the partial pressure increases, and then it is going to affect you according to the partial pressure of the gas. So this has a carbon monoxide detector in it. And so if you were to have carbon monoxide in your breathing gas, it would alert and tell you that. and potentially save your life. That's a big deal because you're not going to know otherwise. And while it's not super common for compressors to have carbon monoxide going through them and making it through to your breathing gas, it is also not unheard of. There are compressors that run off of gas engines. There are compressors that have inlets, or the intakes for the compressors are near where there might be some carbon monoxide coming out of a vehicle or out of another gas motor. So not very common, but not unheard of either. So this is a really great tool. There are no other analyzers on the market that have that feature. And so I think it's, for that feature alone, worth the cost of this guy. So let me show you how it works, and I'm also going to show you another really cool feature about this. So I've got a tank here, and just so that we could show all the numbers, I do have some trimix in it. And then I also have the flow limiter. So if you decide to get one of these, this flow limiter is worth every penny to get. Basically, you could put a yoke adapter on this, use it on a yoke tank. I have a DIN, so we're going to use a DIN. And what it does is it reduces the flow, the pressure from here to the proper pressure for the sensor, for the analyzer, so that you don't mess up the sensor and it's analyzing at the right flow rate. So we're going to put that on, and then we have the tubing. It does not come with the tubing, but the tubing is relatively cheap. You would get that if you got one of the flow limiters here. And then we're going to put it up here. Now it's showing 21.1 here. We would go ahead and calibrate that before, but I don't have regular air here with me to test that. So we're just going to run it like this. And we're going to put that in there. And we're going to go ahead and turn the gas on. And see what kind of reading we got. Now, the other feature that I was going to tell you about that's really cool is the app. So this has Bluetooth, this analyzer, and then the app will connect to the analyzer and give you the readout. You're like, okay, whatever, that's cool and everything. What's really neat about this is it's going to give you your mod, your END, in case you're using trimix, in this case we are, so your equivalent narcotic depth, your maximum operating depth, and then based on your PO2. And then the absolute coolest thing is that we can print a label here. So that's my main printer. It would print on my big printer. That's not what I want to do. So once we have this pulled up, you can print to a printer, a label printer. It works with Zebra printers, and I've got this one set up to work with a little bit of a cheaper printer. So we're going to screenshot it here. I'm going to get a Zebra eventually, but right now I just don't have one. So I'm going to do that and save to photos, and then I'm going to go to my printer app here and select the photo in here, and then hit confirm, and then print, and then give me 1 second. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to show you what we printed out. Now, just so I could get this review on today, I've been using a shipping printer, so it's a pretty big label, but I have ordered 3-inch labels. So this label that would go on the tank, and you would initial it, and you now have your gas analyzed and labeled on the tank, which is really cool. So this is just an awesome piece of kit. I think it's going to be key for anybody that's doing any kind of technical diving in the future, and you would really do well by having it as a part of your kit. If you have any questions, please send them to us, or log on to our website. We have these on sale on our website. You can also stop into the shop, and we will be able to get you set up with one, along with anything else you need to make sure that you have some really safe dives in the future. www.somddiverse.com, and we'll see you soon.